indeed, although we're just hearing there's some controversy, a few changes here. Hayden was on the beach with a big developing story.
Well, I'm just down on the beach with Kai Hurst. Kai, can you just explain to everyone at home what's just happened?
Yeah, apparently I didn't listen prior to the start. Had to go around that middle apex on the board in that last leg, and unfortunately I went past it. It's about 5 or 10 metres to the left of me. I didn't go around it. So, yeah, very unfortunate, but you know, rules are rules.
That's it, mate. So you've been disqualified from the event today. No longer going to be racing. Obviously, no points at all for you. Bit of a shame, especially when you're going so well in the weeks previous.
Yeah, you know, that was just so comfortable, and you know, I felt like we're going to have a really good day. Really unfortunate. I don't know where that puts me now. You know, I definitely lost the race for that championship for Nutrigrain, so I guess it is what it is.
Thanks, mate. Big one in Perth, mate.
Kai Hurst, and one man's problems is another man's fortune. Kendrick Louis finished 1 place out. He has apparently been elevated. He chipped his tooth after coming off his board. He was out for the day as series leader. I think Hayden's with him now.
Kendrick, you were out 5 minutes ago. Hursty's broken some of the course rules. Now you're back in, mate. How does that feel?
You know, it was actually pretty lucky then. You know, I finished the race, did the pre-race interview, and was, you know, I thought I was gone. And thank my lucky stars that, you know, I'm back in again, so hopefully I can pick it up this race.
That's it, mate. Bookie's calling you up there. Get in it.
Extraordinary scenes on the beach. You could see there his front tooth had been chipped away where he hit the board. Guy, devastating for Kai Hurst.
Well, you know, when you're that far in front, last leg, as we see the next race go ahead, we've got 16 competitors. When you're that far in front, Nicole, it seems very unfair, but they are the rules that you can go and get completely kicked out of an event when you've won by 30 seconds.
Yeah, it maybe made sense to give a time disadvantage, but you're right, the rules are the rules. The order for this second race is board, swim, ski, and that was decided by the eventual race number 1 winner, and we believe that was Corey Jones. So,
and that makes sense because Corey Jones loves the board leg. It's his best leg. And because of that, he would have put that in first to give himself a good advantage going into the next legs.
Remarkable effects this will have on the championship. Kendrick Louis was leading the championship by 1 point from Kai Hurst. Kendrick was out. He was finished. He would have dropped through back to 5th or 6th with the last position. Kai, well, he's now going to drop back through the field, so it's going to have an enormous effect on the outcome of the year.
Yeah, well, it depends. Kendrick Louis is now in there with a show. Ali Day was equal second with Kai Hurst. He's also still in there.
Can I say this? In all my years of either competing in a series or commentating it, and Trevor will have a comment on this, I've never seen this happen before like this. I've never seen the race leader be knocked out in the first round and then have someone who's won a race by that far get disqualified and have the race series winner be elevated back into the event. Trevor, this is completely new to me.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, Lucci, and I guess we're all groomed up through Surf Lifesaving when we come out of nippers, and you know right from the start that if you miss a can, you get eliminated from the race, you get disqualified no matter how much you won it by. So I guess at the professional level, at this level, it just never happens. So for Hurst, he was feeling really comfortable, but apparently too comfortable, and forgot where he was going. But I certainly can't recall it happening.
Well, Trev, there's 2 things I took out of that interview. One was that he copped it on the chin straight away. He was completely 100% congruently in accordance that, yeah, he should be disqualified. And secondly, he said the classic line in that I wasn't listening before the race and I made a blunder. So he's accepted it. He's copped it on the chin.
Look, I love that. I'm really impressed by Hursty handling that interview in that way. He's not as intense as, say, Kane Eckstein externally, but internally he is. And to see him handle it that way is fantastic. Hursty's really come of age, and gee, he's doing well. It's a shame for him because that pretty much puts him out of the series for a win.
A couple of the boys there at the back of the field looked like Thomas Trembath was having trouble getting out through the front. And Kendrick Louis, he'll be out there pinching himself that he's still in this race, and now he's leading out in front of Zane Holmes. He's been given the Willy Wonka golden ticket.
He's won the lottery, and if he is as good as Trevor Hendy, he might actually find half his tooth out there as well during the race. You never know. He could come in and go, I've got it. Got the half my tooth back.
Also doing a very nice job on the opening board leg is a former Australian world champion board paddler, and that is Wes Berg. So really nice long paddle strokes there. He's getting a chance to really get into a nice rhythm, and that paddle board is just flying.
Yeah, well, Trev, you'd be someone that knows the technique of a board those competitors that have that really flexible lower back that can get that chest down and keep the bum up in the air to get their arms in the water seem to be the better board paddlers, and Wes Berg is a classic exponent of that.
Oh, there's a lot of technique watching going on in my house at the moment with the young fellas racing and everything, and they all love Wes Berg's technique because exactly what you say, he gets his head right forward and right down, he kisses the board. There's a drill you do where you take a stroke and you kiss the front of the board, and Wes Berg does that on almost every stroke. Of course it means that you're stretching right out, but it also means you're putting all your weight forward. So when you're chasing the runs on the way in, all your weight's forward and you pick them up and you fly along.
Obviously important to have a good strong core though to be able to hold a technique like that, Trev.
Oh, very much so, and the one thing, if you didn't put your hands in at front, you'd actually fall on your board and chip another tooth out, but because you're leaning right forward, you get those hands in the water, that's actually what holds you up, and then you pull the board through your legs.
Well, Trev, Wes Berg has done a great job there. He caught a bit of a bump, turned into a bit of a chop, he leant forward, kept his weight forward, as you were saying then. It was classic, you were talking about that, and he was doing exactly that on the screen, and it's turned into a wave. So Wes Berg has nicely got himself out in front. He's a wave ahead of the rest of the field, where we see Corey Jones is on the wave. Kendrick Louis on there as well. Zane Holmes is there. So we've got some of the main guys. The next wave back, Trenbath. We see Matty Pools there as well. So Ali Day's just
off
come
the back of the wave as well. He's managed
back
to
on again. No, he's come back on the same wave. How do you do that, Ali Day?
Oh, the kid from Kiama. Good to see. This man, Wes Berg, though, makes his boards. He's a very physically fit man. Trains Joel Parkinson, amongst others. He's a bit of a legend up on the coast, Guy Leach.
Good surfer, good ocean man. He's paddled the Molokai race on a paddleboard last year, and very much in tune with the ocean. Been around a long time, in the twilight of his career, but certainly not off pace, and he's just shown that in that board league. He comes up the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain the stage, and he goes back down during the Renault Run League.
So not wanting to waste any of the space in this race, Kendrick Louis is really starting to sprint this transition, the run leg, and in that group as well is the one and only Phil Clayton. So he's making sure he's not letting anyone get in front. The swim leg is next, so making every moment count in this race. There's Kane Eckstein cap on already, Matty Poole there, and Ali Day after that little bump off.
We haven't
still there.
Said much about Shannon Eckstein today, have we? So he got through the first race, and he's in there. So Shannon Eckstein's not really sort of pushing himself out forward as we see Wes Berg. That's the gap back to second place with that big group of athletes coming after Wes. But we haven't heard much about him, and Clado, really, we haven't heard much about as well.
This is Ali Day. We saw him at the back of the field. Leachy, how did he manage to do this, the boy from Kiama?
Okay, so he came down that wave there. What happened is there was a little bump in front of the wave. There was a chop there. His rail, the side of the board, hit it. It flipped him onto the side, but what he did was he pushed his weight back to the rail and actually turned himself back up again. So he's going to flip upside down, which would have been over and out as far as that wave went. But he somehow got it back and actually tipped it back around.
Well, he's managed to be in the back of that second pack. Wes Berg putting in some good efforts with the swim. Now, he mainly trains himself. Wes, obviously, he trains some other athletes as well. But when it comes to swimming training, he does train alongside Kai Hurst and also Crystal Smith with Colin Braun. So he tends to get in with the other athletes and make sure he does the work in the pool that he needs to.
Well, Corey Jones is having a far better day today. That's him in the pack there. So he's going well. Also the pink of Matty Pools in there. Shannon Eckstein's in there, Zane Holmes. But at the minute, Wes Berg is in front and he's doing everything correct.
The wind is blowing, the surf is pumping. We've got 16 men out in the water. After this race, there'll only be 12. This is the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series from the super Newcastle beach. Welcome back to the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series from Newcastle Beach. Wes Berg is out in front. He's completed the board. He's on the swim leg now. If you've just joined us, Kai Hurst was disqualified after missing a buoy. Kendrick Louis was going to be eliminated from the first round, our series leader, but he snuck in thanks to Kai being disqualified. So it's all been happening at Newcastle. Just saw the bald scone of Phil Clayton making his way around the buoy as well. And it looks like Ali Day, Zane Holmes, Kane Eckstein also in the orange right up there. Corey Jones with a long hair just sliding to the back a bit, and that's not a place where he wants to be.
And that's Tom Atkinson just going around now, and at the back end
there's
there.
Ali Day now. Yeah. I think that's Ali Day coming through in the blue singlet. So is that Ali Day
was
there?
Hugh Doherty?
Okay, so Hugh Doherty's at the back, so they're both in blue. So Ali Day's up the front. But at the minute, Shannon Eckstein's looking good too. He was in second place, Trev, as we saw the competitors go around the swim league. But what a great effort from Wes Berg. Twilight of his career, and he's just streeting the field.
Oh, lost Trev just for a minute. That's Mitchy Miller in the green there. So that is Mitch Miller.
And Reece Drury as well there, Nicole.
And there's Reece.
Sorry to talk over you. Mitchy Miller, we mentioned it at Ports. He took a tumble down the stairs on Christmas Day at home and caused all sorts of rib cartilage damage. He did extremely well to get out and swim at Portsea, but he's still suffering the effects.
He's actually cracked his 7th rib, which can't be a lot of fun. To turn up at Portsea and in those tough conditions and go there was very brave of him. He comes here and the conditions are even worse. So pat yourself on the back. You see the lead competitors come through now, so they've cracked a wave there.
Yeah, Phil Clayton's on
and
that.
Clado on the left is one of those competitors. Now Trevor, it's on again. We've got competitors all coming through on the waves, and this is where the race will change.
It certainly will. Look, two people that have been flying under the radar, Shannon Exton and Phil Clayton, both look really strong and look like they're just sitting in the back of the pack. And the big turnaround then, of course, after all that controversy, was the fact that Kendrick Louis went around that swim can equal second. So all of a sudden, he's right back in at series leader in a great position.
Trev, as we see the guys come on to make the transition in the ski, what about the back guys? Because they're the ones that will be eliminated. We saw Mitchy Miller back there. Who else are you seeing in danger of being eliminated?
Yeah, there was also Tom Atkinson back there. Hugh Doherty as well. You picked out Hugh. He was one of our series favourites before we started this year, and he hasn't had a good run at all, and that's not looking good for him now.
Trev, you be careful out there on the Red Bull jet ski, because the Surf Rescue boys are well and truly off their craft, Guy Leach, and trying to get back on it in what is now 4 to 5 foot surf. Not easy. In
a precarious position there. That's right where the waves are breaking, so they're going to try to flip that IRB as quickly as they can. But back to the action, and there's Kendrick Louis. So Kendrick Louis is up there. There's Matty Poole next to him. But at the minute, it looks like Shannon Eckstein and both Phil Clayton have gone past Westberg. Ali Day coming out of the water now. So always look back to those back 4. They're the ones we need to worry about, and they're the ones that will miss out in this second race going into the third event.
Tommy Trembath there with the red stripe. Kane Eckstein and Hugh Doherty on his hammer. Kane, you just feel he just needs to get through a couple more races, and his endurance will really pay off, but he doesn't have the speed in these early races.
Yeah, well picked up, and he certainly needs to get into a race 4, because if he does that, it turns from a sprint event into an endurance event, and that plays well into Kane Eckstein's hands. So he just needs to keep hanging in there, and he's a tough competitor. He can do that. So the Renault Run League, as they go past the brand new car, the Colliers, the 4-wheel drive, and that is the car that the winner of the men's and the women's series get for a year as winning the series.
Hayden, you're on the beach. Who is at the tail of the field?
At this stage, I can see James Stewart, Corey Hill. We've also got, we talked about Mitch Miller with that cracked rib. He is putting in a huge effort just for being out there, let alone getting around this course. So he's well back. And I think that is also Hugh Doherty as well.
Looks like Reece Drury.
Drury, sorry, yeah.
Well done, Hayden. On top of the situation down there, on top of the situation, I whipped into my local supermarket Aldi this week, and I didn't see that post of you we saw earlier on, Guy Leach, but you're all over Aldi with a new fitness program as well.
You must have been in there buying your kilos, Nutrigrain boy. But yeah, I've got a 24-week food and exercise program you can buy in Aldi stores, and it comes with resistant bands and pedometer, and changes people's lives. So it's good to help people lose weight and get fit.
So could Mark Howard look like Arnold Schwarzenegger if he wanted to?
Look, the more that Howie hangs around me, the more you'll be like me, Howie. You just stay close, brother.
It's about trying to lose weight, Leachy, and that is the last of my issues. Phil Clayton, he doesn't need to lose any weight either. The wiry veteran, he's powering out there. He said at the start of the series that his son, his hero was Kai Hurst. He wanted his son to follow him, and he did after his great performance at Ports. He had a win on his sister's birthday, and again, he is right up there in the field. He's a wonderful man. He's really added a spark to this series. Wesley Berg, you can see him in the red, pretty tightly bunched here on the ski, which is the final leg of race 2. So we are set for a bit of heartbreak as 4 men leave us.
Can I tell you about Phil Clayton? The first year that we did the series last year, we started this thing, we brought it back to Channel 10 live on television. Clado's retired, okay? He's a coach. Rang me up before the first race up at the Gold Coast. Said, Leachy, what can I do to help? And I said, mate, we need some posters to get out and put them around the surf clubs, thinking that he'd get someone else to do it. Clado drove around for 2 days with his own time and effort and put posters all around the Gold Coast for me. He is an unbelievable guy and someone that loves Ironman more than anyone else.
Well, you see the width and breadth of his career, where he's a world Ironman in 2000, and last year at the Aussies, he won the belt title, and wasn't he fantastic when he won that, jumping on the back of a jet ski, doing a great celebration.
Greatest victory procession that we saw during the whole championships.
There's Trev.
Trev, we can see you smiling out, looking fantastic, smiling, a little bit seasick after that big chicken roll you powered into an hour ago. How are things travelling?
Well, Hugh Doherty's recovered massively. He must have got a wave in that swim because he's right up there now. Kane Eckstein just sitting at the back with Corey Jones. They're still pretty safe if they get around though. But look, the big news, Phil Clayton, when he went past him, he was screaming and hollering and yelling out, laughing, and that was a vast difference to Shannon Eckstein, who just looked so comfortable and relaxed but wasn't saying boo, just sitting behind him. Then you had Wes Berg, who was like, wow, I'm up the front, and really, really going for it. 3 different looks on their faces, but all doing very, very well.
It's an interesting point with Kai Hurst now being out of today's racing. Shannon Eckstein coming into this basically talked about consistency, and his first Surfers Paradise result wasn't particularly good. He was right down the tail of the field in 9th. You know, this does open it up for Shannon. He can consistently just work his way through the rest of the series now and maybe win it.
Look, he didn't make a lot of mistakes at Surfers Paradise in the first race. He just wasn't on form. And he did say to me only a couple of days ago that, look, I haven't felt good as we see Phil Clayton push down this swell. Now, this could turn into a wave here. If he drives hard now, he could pump up open nose. So he's fallen off the back. The next one is the one. So is he in a precarious position here? The other guys can come through. So Zane Holmes has pushed through. Phil Clayton will have a crack at this. This is the big one, Howie. He needs to control this. Will he go down this one? Yes, he will. So there's the 4 and 5 footer. Hugh Doherty in behind. Oh, Clado's gone sideways. Clado needs to straighten himself up here. This is a mistake from Clado. He's in a bit of trouble right now.
Hugh Doherty on the right-hand side of screen in the black is the man that's come from nowhere after sneaking in through a disqualification. Kendrick Louis, Zane Holmes is on that. Matty Poole, there is Kendrick Louis powering along. Can't believe he's lucky, still involved. Zane Holmes, Wesy Berg getting close in there, Leachy.
It pushes across there. It runs from right to left as you look at the screen. And the problem with that is that you get pushed sideways. If you've got someone next to you, it means you can go into them. The guys are very, very good at controlling the skis. Big, strong lads, 85, 90 kilos. And very, very powerful.
Out the back there, I just saw the orange of Kane Eckstein, so he may be in the danger zone here as they come up to finish this second race.
Well picked up, Nicole. 16 men will hit the beach. Only 12 will start race 3. Matty Poole, there is Kane Eckstein facing the wrong way.
Again, Howie, he did that at Bondi. He went backwards on the ski, and it cost him getting to the next race. So he needs to make a chip on there, but that was the same mistake as last year.
A couple of big names there, a couple of big names at the front. Wesy Berg, he's got the family here. His lovely wife Jade, his little one, he's across the line in front of the Professor. Shannon Eckstein, consistent as ever. Then Kendrick Louis, can't believe he's in there. Phil Clayton, Zane Holmes, the big powerful unit he is, and Hugh Doherty. He's had a tough start to the year. He's doing extremely well as the boys continue to come through. Tommy Atkinson and Corey is through, and Ali does as well. But at this stage,
that's at number 9 now from my using my fingers and toes. I'm almost moving up to my toes.
Well, Matty Poole doesn't look too worried.
10th and 11th.
And I think their Kane Eckstein looks too. He looks quite comfortable and quite happy, so he's through as well. So no, well done, Kane. You've had to fight. You've done a good job there.
Just a 10-minute break for these boys.
Tom Trembath coming through. I think he'll make it through as well.
I would imagine, Nicole, that is the cut-off line just about there. Tommy Trembath.
I think that's number 12.
Hayden, down on the beach.
Yeah, I'm down here with Kane. Kane, you've just come across the line, mate. Tricky conditions out there. Are you loving it? How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty important to get a good wave in the swim. And first one I got one, I sort of dropped. A few people hit each other and sort of dropped off, and that one just didn't get anything, and it sort of made it pretty hard in the last ski. But I was in a pretty good position, so I'm feeling pretty good.
I suppose now it's important to get out there, do a bit of a warm down, get ready for the next round.
Yeah, you know, get maybe a little bit of electrolytes and some water, and yeah, keep moving. It's not too cold today, so it's all right. You're not getting too cold in between races.
Great work, mate. Well done.
Great work also by James Stewart, pumping along the beach and just knocking out Reece Drury. He's the first of the men not through. Mitchy Miller is out of business as well. We started with 21. We're down to 12. It is a big day of racing and a big